Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you are welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorial to my channel. If you're a member, you are welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to sew this backless dress with both sleeves. So if you want to know how I'll be going about it, keep on watching. In my last tutorial I didn't show you on how to cut it. Today we're going to be putting all the pieces together. Here is my elastic I'm going to be using for the sleeve. I went ahead to cut up the back piece, 2 pieces for the back and 2 lining for the back. And when you're cutting your piece, you make sure you fold the right side facing each other. I cut my front piece, I placed it on fold, and I cut to have 1 full piece for the front. And here is my waistband. How long it is around my waist. Then I cut it at 4 inch. I folded it up. I'll end up having 2 inch. Don't forget to add your ½ inch for the sewing allowance. Then here are my sleeve. Remember, I multiply around my arm by 3, cut it up, and then I folded ½ inch inward. I press that up, and I fold again ½ inch inward. I press that up. For the skirt, I went ahead to multiply around my waist by 4 because I wanted my gather to be more fuller. First thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and just pin right side of my lining facing the right side of my main piece. I'll go ahead to stitch the neckline. That's to be able to keep it neat. I'll do the same thing to the back piece. Watch at the way I'm going to be stitching this up, okay? Then for my strap, first of all, I'm going to be starting on my straps. I'll go ahead to just fold the right side facing each other. I'll go ahead and stitch that up. After doing so, I'll just flip it to the right side. Then I'm going to press it up to lay everything flat. I'm going to pick the back piece. I'll just be joining up the back like this because we want to be able to keep it neat. Then I will pick up my straps and place it up right there, ½ inch away from my shoulder. I will just place it ½ inch away from my shoulder. Then that ½ inch is what I'll be using to join the shoulder together. I'm going to go ahead and measure it up, and when I'm sure, I'll just go ahead and stitch over it like that. I'll do the same thing to the other piece as well. After doing so, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch around the neckline for the front. When I'm done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to my ironing board. I'll press it to lay everything flat. I went ahead and just press it up, and I also turn it out. As you can see, this is the straps for the back as well, and I did the same thing to the front. I just turn it up, okay? Remember, we have not joined the shoulder yet, and the downer part is open, right? So now what we're going to do is just to go ahead. Now I'll be stitching up my dart that I mark. I'll just go ahead and stitch them up, and I also created a dart for the back 2 piece. After stitching, you're still going to take it to your ironing board and you're going to press everything flat. So I went ahead and stitched on my dart. For this back piece, the dart is optional, okay? I just went ahead and pressed everything up to lay it flat. This is what it's looking like so far. This is the front, you can see, and here are the 2 back piece. Trim up your threads. I'm going to go ahead now. We'll just go ahead to join up. I'm just going to go ahead now to join it up. What I will do is just to pick lining to lining, main piece to main piece. I'm going to match them up like this, and I will pin that up. Make sure you pin everything, those two lines facing each other. Go ahead and pin. After pinning, I will take it to the machine and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch away. I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. After stitching, you're going to go ahead and flip that out. You see the way everything is looking very neat. This is what the top is looking like. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, we'll go ahead now to just to top stitch the sleeve. Therefore we are topping stitch where we folded 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch inward to be able to create the elastic casing. Once we're done, we just go ahead now, we will join the side seams of the top like this. You can actually add your sleeve before you go ahead to join the side seams. Any way you find it more comfortable for you to do, just go ahead and do so. When I'm done joining that, I'll take it to the machine and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch away. After stitching, this is what it's looking like. You can go ahead to press that up to lay this flat. Okay, now after doing so, we're going to go ahead, we'll pick up a sleeve, we're going to be joining it to it. But first of all, I want to go ahead and pick up a safety pin up my elastic. The elastic should be round your arm. Okay, measure around your arm, whatever you have, you add 1 inch for the sewing allowance. I'll just go ahead, pin my safety pin with my elastic, put it inside through that, pass it through that elastic casing that we create all the way to the other side. When you get to the other side, you make sure you pin it so it will not run inside. Then I'm just going to join it up like this or notch the center. Then I'm going to go ahead now to gather it up. Not actually gather it up, but make some small kissing pleat. Right, I'll just fold it up like, make pleat about 1/2 inch inward. Pleats. When I'm done with this side, I'm going to continue with the other side as well. Then you want to pleat this to round your armhole. Okay, you just pleat it. Once you get to your armhole measurement, you go ahead and attach it up to the piece, to your top. And first of all, join the side seams. After joining the side seam, you can go ahead to overlock it or you zigzag it, whichever way you have available for you. But me, since I'm working on African print, I'm just going to leave this part like that. Then I'm going to go ahead now, I'll be joining it. Remember this center I notch. I'm just going to pick center to center, place it up like that, and I will pin that up. After pinning it, I will take the center again, match it up with these two joining here, and I'm going to just flip it to the right side like this. You see, I place up the right side and the center, I'm placing it up together like this, and I'll go ahead now and pin that up. And when you're actually pinning this, make sure you go through it smoothly. After pinning, what I'll do is to take it to the machine. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that up. Then after stitching, you can go ahead, trim off the excess. Then you either lock it or you zigzag it, whichever way you have at home. Move up your paint, and this is what it look like. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of the sleeve. Now, when we are done with the top, we're going to move that aside. We're going to pick up the skirt. Just set your machine to the longest stitch of your machine. Then you're going to run 2 straight stitches. After doing so, go ahead, grab 2 thread, then just pull it up and make sure you're pulling it up gently. Pull it gently so that you won't be able to cut up your thread, okay? I'm going to pull this till I get to around my waist measurement. Once I'm done, I'll just go ahead and notch up the center of my top, and I also notch the center of my waistband. I'm going to pick up the first waistband, I place it on top, and the second waistband on it. You see what I'm doing here? Meaning that that waistband that I folded into 4, I went ahead to separate it. So I will have one piece for the downer part and one piece for the top. This is what I'm doing. I'll just go ahead and pin it, and after pinning, we'll take it to the machine and we'll stitch that up. I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch away. Then after stitching, I just went ahead to flip it up, as you can see. Then I make sure I folded 1/2 inch inward, okay? For that, I'm going to be pinning one side to the skirt, marking the center of the skirt with the center of my waistband. I'll first of all go ahead and pin that up like this all the way to the other side. Then I'll continue pinning the other side. After pinning it up, we're going to take it to the machine and we're going to stitch 1/2 inch away. After stitching, I'll just go ahead now, pick the other piece, and I'm going to flip it up like this. Remember, flip it up like that and cover that up. I'll go ahead, pin that up, and I'm going to top stitch on top. You want to make sure that you're holding the top piece and the downer piece as well, okay? See the way I'm pinning it? After pinning, you're going to top stitch that. Take your time here and top stitch. When I'm done top stitching, this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead now to add on my zipper. I'll just place right side facing each other. I'll go ahead and pin. After pinning that up, I'll take up my zipper and mark where I want my zipper to stop from. Then I'll start stitching from that mark all the way down. Then I've joined up the back, and I'm going to go ahead now. I'll be pinning up the right side of my zipper facing the right side of my piece. I'll pin that up. After pinning it, I'll take it to the machine. I'm going to stitch that up. I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. And when I'm done stitching, the next thing we want to do is just to go ahead now. We will zip up our zipper to check if everything is good. See, I'll just kind of fold this inward like this, and I top stitch. I'll do the same thing here. I top stitch them inward to keep it neat. You can add up a hook. I'll go ahead to fold 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. I'll hem that on, and this is what the dress look like on me. I hope you find it helpful. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. I hope to see you on our next day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.